Okay, we will start our third video, and our third video is number 12. So flip over to number 12, make sure you're on the right number. And this is a graph question. So it says find the distance between the pair of points. So our points are right here. So let's start off with that one. We start at the origin, we go 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left and 4 down. So our first pair of points is -4, -4. Again, we start at the origin and we go right 4 and we go down 2. So our second set of points would be 4, -2. We know we're going to have to label them x1, y1, so let's go ahead and do that now. x1, y1, x2, y2. Let's go ahead and write down our distance formula. So we have our distance formula right there. And let's start off with just replacing the things that we know. So we know that d is equal to the square root of these points. So we have x2, so parentheses x2, which is 4, minus x1, so minus -4 squared, plus parentheses y2, which is -2, minus, minus -4 for y1 squared. We say d is equal to the square root, and we do everything inside the parentheses first. So we go ahead and grab the purple color. And we do 4 minus -4. Take a second to do this on the calculator if you can't do it in your head. Alright, so you should have gotten 4 that actually turns into a plus, right? So 4 minus -4 is actually positive 8 squared, plus parentheses -2, so -2 minus -4. Let's go ahead and do that in our calculators as well. So take a couple seconds to do that operation. So -2 minus -4 actually gives us a positive 2. We do d equals, again, everything in the parentheses first. So 8 squared gives us 64, plus 2 squared, which is 4. We do d is equal to the square root of 64 plus 4, which is 68. And when we take the square root of that, we get, let's see, 68, we get d is approximately 8.24 box. Remember, if there's a negative in this step, go ahead and multiply that number by itself, but if not, just go ahead and square it. So let's do numbers 10 and 11 next. Fractional distance is up next. Let's pause this video and copy down our formulas and our components. Alright, so we have 2 coordinate pairs. So we know our very important first step is to label. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at our components. Do we know what this is? Not yet. x1 we said was -3. x2 is 7. And our fraction is right here, so we will say 1 divided by 3. For our y's, do we know yp yet? No. y1 is 5. Our fraction is 1/3. And our y2 is 10. So let's take a second and replace what we know with what we have. Alright, so all I've done so far has been replacing what we have with what we know. So we don't know what xp is yet, but let's go ahead and do the inside of the parentheses first. So we do 7 minus -3, and that gives us 10. So we do -3 plus 1/3. No, that's supposed to be 1/3. And then we get 7 plus 3, which would be 10. Next up is to do the two parentheses. So times 10 times 1 divided by 3, and that gives us 0.3. Then we are going to put this in the calculator. So -3 minus 0.3 will give us a -3.3. So we can go up here and say that our xp equals -3.3. Let's do the same thing with the y. Let's take a second and replace. Alright, so we've replaced everything from this equation with our components. So let's go ahead and solve those. So remember first this rightmost parentheses. So 10 minus 5 will equal obviously 5. Next up is to multiply the two parentheses. And excuse me, I forgot a plus right here. Multiply those two parentheses. So when we multiply 5 times 1 divided by 3 in our calculators, we get 1.6. So we would say 5 plus 1.6, and 5 plus 1.6 gives us 6.6. So we can come up over here and erase this and say that yp is 6.6. Alright, so this question is a one-dimension question. So it says Richard is jogging at mile marker 21. So he starts at 21 and he wants to be picked up at mile 39. And he wants to take a break 1/3 of the way. So we begin at mile 21. Our fraction is 1/3. And our endpoint is mile 39. So let's go ahead and replace this equation with what we know. Alright, now that we have replaced what we have, we know to do the absolute value first. So 21 minus 39 actually gives us -18. But since it's absolute value, we're going to say it's +18. We're going to drop down everything else, plus 1/3. So next up is to multiply the absolute value and the fraction. So we say 18 times 1 divided by 3 on our calculators, and we get that is +6. We bring down the 21. 21 plus 6 gives us 27. So we can come up here now and say that our dp is 27. Alright, this concludes our review. So the rest of this you will need to do by yourself for homework to turn it in before the common assessment tomorrow.